from Bellevue. He is a two-time collegiate team champion at George Washington. He's also a NSL champion with the Philadelphia Lightning, and he will be representing Team USA at the Pan Ams next week in Brazil. Please welcome Salim Khan.
Congratulations, Salim.
Thank you.
Very exciting. You had an exciting year. I just want everybody to know that the Yusuf Khan Invitational has been going on just about 10 years, and you're the only player that said no to me. And the worst part, it was in person. Okay? So, going other than that, do you think if you get another opportunity, it might be a yes?
Yeah, if you come back with the opportunity again, I will for sure say yes. I don't know what I was thinking on that day, but maybe I wasn't. But yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. So you've been coached by family members most of your life. You've practiced with family members and competed against family members for most of your life as well. What is your perspective on having family so involved in a sport that you love and are pursuing, and has that perspective changed throughout the years?
I'd say it's been pretty consistent. I'm pretty lucky to have grown up with you guys and the rest of the family and being able to be so involved in the sport. I don't think I'd be where I was if I didn't have so much family around. I think a big part of me playing the game still is actually growing up playing with Sharif and having that sibling rivalry.
But just for a second,
yes.
for the record, I would coach him, and I think your dad was coaching you, and
Yes.
you lost. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, there we go. Just making sure.
I don't have to elaborate. Yes.
I think the last match is Salim won.
I don't think I was there.
Not over yet, not over yet.
You know, I've never admitted it to Sharif's face, but growing up, he was always better than me. But then once I passed him, there's no looking back.
In fairness, we're going to be serious on this. Doing this full time, like you've committed to doing, it's a huge jump. And is it what you thought it would be like?
No, it's not quite. You sort of look at these players and it looks like they're just doing everything that's so fun. They're traveling, they're winning, they're getting trophies. But when you start off, it's pretty lonely on the road, and a lot of the players you're watching aren't winning all their matches. And you're going to these cities that some of them are really cool and some of them are a little smaller, less known. But then there are the positives as well, where you're going to meet these cool local people, and you just get to experience new things, new cultures. So there's a little of both that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, you've come so far in your journey. Next week you are going to Brazil to play in the Pan Am for Team USA. Can you let everyone know what events you're playing in and then what you're looking forward to the most when you get there?
Yeah, so I'm playing in the men's singles event, the men's doubles, and then I'm playing in the team event. So I grew up obviously playing singles, but for fun, just as some of you juniors do, play some doubles here and there. And I did as well, and I loved that. So I think I'm most excited for that. I haven't practiced much recently, but I do think it's going to be a fun time, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself. So I'm just hoping to go up there and have fun.
We're going to take one question. Does anybody have one? Mel?
10 years ago, did you think you'd be a professional squash player?
Great question. No, I don't think so. I sort of had the goal just to go to college, play in college, and then sort of see where things went. And I've ended up here, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy I've made it here.
Thank you. We're very proud of you. It's great to see two of our team members, not only, we have Layla and Salim representing the United States, and yeah, not bad, yeah.
All right, our second player, currently world number 3. He was the first New Zealand man to become world number 1. He has 28 PSA titles to his name, 2 of those coming at the British Open. Please welcome Paul Coll.
First of all, thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure for us. As you know, Superman is probably number 1 in the box office, and this Superman is at the top of the rankings right now. So, how does that feel right now? I mean, I've seen you now come for about 10 years. You look even fitter and stronger. Is that possible? Is that a fair observation?
I've definitely got smarter in my age, yeah. I'm not sure I'm fitter, but my squash might be a little bit better, which helps my fitness out. But yeah, no, it's been an awesome journey for me, and just trying to enjoy where my squash is at the moment, and try not to put. I sort of struggle a bit when I get up in the rankings to keep that enjoyment, and it all gets a bit too serious. So yeah, just trying to enjoy my journey and enjoy playing squash, and not put too much pressure on results and rankings at the moment.
Yeah. You're always so fun to watch, and part of that as a fan is watching the passion and intensity that you bring, whether that's diving, fist pumping, or yelling after a big point. Is that something that you had since you were a child? Did that come maybe with pressures growing up, letting that intensity out? Where did that start for you?
Yeah, I think it's just the way I was brought up, the way my family was. We were very competitive at anything we did, really. It wasn't so much just squash for me, but I played every sport I could, and we just always used to have a lot of fun, but we'd always want to win, amongst each other within the family. So I think that competitive just came from my family, and that results in me trying to win every point or get every ball back. And the dives I never thought about once until they went viral, and then I started to think about them a bit more. But yeah, it's definitely just something that came natural for me, and I think it's from my family and how I was brought up and how I was raised. I think, like I said, I played every sport I could get my hands on. Just wanted to do my best at all of them, and I think it came from there.
Okay, and I think that leads right into the next question I have for you. I know that your dad, I believe, played rugby.
My uncle was played for New Zealand.
Wow, that's incredible. And so, how did you get into squash, or how did you say that this is the right sport for you?
Yeah, I think so. My parents both played squash, so they were just amateurs, but they both loved the sport. And I was about 15 or 16, and I was playing rugby, hockey, and squash in school. And I was pretty good at hockey. I was in the top team in school, and rugby I was good, but not in the top team. And then I got selected for New Zealand for squash, and for me to represent my country means everything, and that sort of just really took all of my interest. I obviously loved squash, and it was massively in my family, but I think when I got selected for New Zealand, that's when I stopped all my other sports and just went straight to squash. And I put a lot more time into it. I was training, before school, after school, for the last 3 years of my high school thing, and started to improve quite quickly. So it wasn't until then that I got that sort of real passion and desire to train properly for squash.
Well, we're glad you picked squash.
Yeah, we are.
You've become a staple at these tournaments in Bellevue. We really enjoy watching you play, and we value your insights into the game. And so with that being said, this past year you played in the New Zealand Open and the Australian Open. 2 tournaments with incredible atmosphere. I believe over 1,000 people were in attendance for both those tournaments. In your opinion, what do you think the squash community can focus on to grow the sport, grow the fan base, and hopefully get more audiences like that in tournaments?
I think it's about building on what you do really well here as the community around the squash. In New Zealand, it's a very accessible sport. Everyone plays squash. It's very easy to go play squash. There's a lot of squash courts, and with cheap, you can access it very easily. So everyone in New Zealand knows what squash is and has experienced squash, and it does have quite a decent heritage there in terms of players and stuff like that. So I think the reason they sell out is because they don't see squash at all, right? So when the tournament goes there, they they market it very well. It's on TV, it's on the radio, so it's very much out in the public. There's posters everywhere, billboards everywhere, so it actually gets marketed very well because it's sort of the only thing they've got in the country. The country is quite small, but yeah, like I said, it's on the main Sky Sports channels. It's on the news, it's on the radio, so they really get the word out there quite well, and it sells out every year. I mean, this tournament, New Zealand Open this year was like unbelievable. Yeah. For me, it was my hometown, so I had a lot of like home support there, but like just the atmosphere was incredible. They supported both, anyone from any country, but it was just truly, it was incredible. Like, the atmosphere was some of the best I've ever played. It was awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking over there, Paul. There's been somebody following you around. Not for this tournament. We've been following you around for 2 years since he was actually 4. But we are going to take usually one question, but I'll take 2. Yes, Sam?
Why did you start diving?
Be careful now.
Because that guy in the back kept saying he kept making me go the wrong way. So then to get the ball back, I would just have to dive as far as I could. So the idea is not to go the wrong way. Like, he never seems to go the wrong way, but I can't read the game quite as well. So yeah, I'd keep running the wrong way, and then I'd have to go back and get the ball. Yeah. I recommend playing like him.
Omar, do you have a question? Oh,
I have a question.
You have a question?
I always want to ask the questions.
Okay, please do.
2 things. So the first, you obviously added a layer to the game season after season, season after season. One season you came back as the fittest on tour, and then the next season you're one of the best leg hitters, and then the following season you're one of the best volleyers. And when did you decide, or how did you decide which layer of the game, and who did you decide that with? And I guess the next one, which I guess the first piece to it, when did you have to believe that, of course, I mean, everybody knows here, and it's not a shame or anything, but you're at necessarily the highest ranked junior globally, and then all of a sudden you made that team. When did you have to believe that you're going to be one of the top ones one day?
Yeah, I think my mindset's always, I'll just look at my game and see where my weakness is at. I think the physicality always came natural to me. That's something that was always, from when I was 16, it's the first thing I could do. We're in New Zealand, we don't have the best coaches, or that we play, like I played 4 people for 3 years type thing. So I didn't really learn the game that well. So the thing that we came up with as a New Zealand team is we were going to go to World Juniors as the fittest. That was what we identified as like what we could separate ourselves from everyone else, and we just worked as hard as we possibly could, and we got seriously fit. Like, I've never been that fit since then. So we just identified that as, like I said, and we did really well. Like, we got top 6, which for New Zealand and for us was really, really good. And then so I just sort of kept not that mindset, but just sort of analysing where all my weaknesses were and how I could make them better. It's just something in my brain gives me a lot of excitement to learn something new. I think that's what keeps me stimulated when I'm on tour. I need something it's probably my downfall as well, because sometimes I can go too far and try too many new things. But that's what gives me excitement about playing. I love just learning new techniques, and like I said, that's what I just did to give me energy and play. I'm not a huge one that loves rivalries and stuff like that. I just love that self-improvement and that mindset of getting better. And the belief, I mean, it's my weakness as well. To believe that I'm up there, I think, is what I really struggle with. I think when I get there, I start trying to be other people rather than just believing in myself that I belong there and I'm there. And I think it's something I'm still working on. Like, I think as soon as I got to the top, it was very foreign to me. It just was not something I was comfortable with or came natural to me. So I always knew, like, I know I'm one of the fittest, and that's my strengths. I'm very aware of what my strengths are, and I believe in my game and what I can produce as a player. But in terms of like that actual just pure belief of being up there, it's something I would say I still struggle with. Get a bit of imposter syndrome, like when I'm there, it's like, am I actually the best in the world, or do I need to be someone else? And that's something that I'm working on massively.
we want you to know that everything you've accomplished so far, you're going down the books. I mean, it's one of the best. You really are. Really.
I'm into that. From the receiving end,
And we really feel like the Khan family loves you. I mean, we are always thrilled that you come here. I know you gained so many fans here at the Pro Club. We didn't want to do this, but we're going to do this with you. You get to turn around and ask us a question if you'd like to ask us a question.
Ooh.
I know. Not you, Ali. Not you. Just you, Paul.
He's just dying to it.
No, I don't want to do it.
Ooh.
Do you have anything for us? Just Bellevue in general, or
Yeah.
YSK, anything.
What do you think of the current way the game is being played compared to, say, 10 years ago or even 20 years ago?
Oh. Thank you. I love it. And you'll notice too, the fans that are here at this event will notice that the styles of the players that are here are all so different, bringing so many different things. I would just say that I cannot believe how fit everybody is. And then on top of it, just such great sports. I mean, I admire all of you. The athleticism that everybody shows, the sportsmanship, it's been great. So
Yeah.
thank you.
No?
That was
Thank
easy.
you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Our third and final player of the night is former world number 1. He held the number 1 position for 238 weeks. He is the 6th all-time winningest squash player in history, a fan favorite here in Bellevue, and one of the best to ever do it, Ali Farag.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming. Just gonna get the elephant out of the room. Our fans here are in serious denial.
Oh.
Okay? They've asked me and talked to me about it, that, oh no, he's just gonna take a year off, and he's gonna pick up that racket, he's gonna get ready for the Olympics. Okay, I'll let you say it.
No chance. I couldn't be happier with my decision. Obviously, it's only been a couple of months and it's still in the honeymoon phase of retirement. I'm loving it. It's been long coming, to be fair. Since we've started a family, Noor and I, it's been very hard to leave, to be on the road. And I was just talking to Coll back in the corner there that we were very, very lucky to have each other. He has Neila as well on the road with him all the time. As Salim was saying, even when you're winning, it doesn't have to do with winning or losing. It gets very lonely on the road. So much stress, and you have to endure it all on your own in a closed room for the full day. And if you really want to get the best out of yourself, you don't go around and visit that aquarium and that zoo, and you just have to be really focused. So we're away for 100 or 150 days of the year, and it's all by yourself. It gets very lonely, and even at home, it's tough. I've loved it. I've loved every minute of it. If I go back in time, I'll do it all over again. But then it came to a point where, okay, thank God, God has blessed me with so many achievements that I wasn't chasing anything anymore. So the advantages were not there anymore. And then the cons were piling up year after year of leaving the family behind, my kids growing up. And it was, the priorities just were setting themselves right for me to retire at this point, and every season I kept on saying that for the past 3 seasons, and then one more season, the human being is greedy, and I wanted to do more and achieve more, but then I got to a point in last September at the Egyptian Open, the very first tournament of the season, and I took the decision by myself, and then Mike Way, who's my coach at Harvard and I'm still very close to, he drove down from Boston to Philly on the semi-finals day of the US Open. And I told them that morning about the decision before I even told my parents or my wife or anyone. And I told them this is going to be the last season. And Mike usually gives me the push to keep on going. He felt it in my voice, and he felt it in every core of my body that I couldn't do it anymore. And we took that decision together. And then I told Noor, and I told her we're not going to talk about it at least for the short for the coming short period. And then as I said, I'm very very happy, and I don't see myself ever going back again. Yeah.
We're disappointed, but never say never.
Never say never. Never say never. Anybody who says I'm disappointed will say I'm happy, so you shouldn't be disappointed.
Well, we're happy that you're happy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we're glad that retirement's going well. Even with that, was there an adjustment period? Because you were playing such a high level for so long. What did it look like after the initial moment where you decided? Was there almost a learning curve of what your day-to-day routine was like? What was that process like, or what is that process currently like?
I'm still in KG1 of that learning curve.
Yeah.
I'm still very, very early on, and I don't know what the future is going to look like. I don't know how my routine is going to look like, whether it's going to be a desk job, 9 to 5, or whether I'm going to be join the family business, or I'm going to do maybe a little bit with squash, but I don't think my full-time job is going to have to do with squash. I don't know yet. But for the time being, I'm spending half of my week by the beach house with the family. That's something that I miss, the beach house where everyone goes pretty much for the whole summer, and I would only go for a couple of weekends during the summer throughout my career, because obviously I couldn't miss out on so much training. So that's something that I'm really cherishing, and spending time with the kids and with the family. And then the other half of the week, again, I'm blessed to have been presented with a lot of opportunities, and this is what I'm chasing now, to see what I'm going to fit. I thought I was going to have a very, very easy, quiet summer, but thank God I've been presented those opportunities, so it didn't turn out to be as quiet, but I'm enjoying it a lot so far, and obviously the fact that I'm here as well made it even a better summer. Honestly, I love coming back here, as you know. I've been coming back. I was just counting with Bobby the other day. That's my 8th time. I've been coming for 10 years. I've only skipped twice, one for an injury, one for COVID, really. So it's I love my time here. So, and to be involved with the sport that has given me so much is still amazing. But for now, this is as much capacity as I'm going to give to the sport.
Well, you definitely, after hearing your introduction, you're in the books, right? You're definitely in the books.
Thank you.
But when Rami left, we thought, oh my goodness, you've really stepped up in so many ways. And you've been ambassador to the sport, but also to Egypt. Do you see yourself helping in any way to, mentor any of the kids that are coming through right now?
Well, I'm currently working with one player, and that's Yusuf Suleiman. He's world number 8, so I wouldn't call him a kid at all. He's 28 years of age. He's very mature. He's a pretty much anyone in the top 10 or even in the top 50 is pretty much a complete player. I'm only trying to add stuff here and there. And I also sit on the technical committee of the federation, where we're trying to bring in sponsorship and funding for the top boys and girls, and that's something that's taking up a little bit of my time. And it was a great pain point in my career that we weren't really funded by the country. But I grew up in a family like Coll's, that the country is such a huge deal. And that was not the case, but even if they treated you so badly, your country is your country, and you're going to do everything for it. Now it's not so much the same with the younger generation, so you want to give them something to feel that towards their country. So that's what I'm trying to do, really. I loved playing for Egypt, honestly. It made it feel so much different. Like, I wasn't really emotional at all after my wins, and the only time I was really crazy and I jumped off the glass was when I was playing for Egypt, and that tells you a lot, and I also knew deep inside, I was the only one who knew that this was going to be my last one, so I was so stressed stepping on court. But yeah, playing for Egypt or playing for your country in general is a whole different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've had such an impressive career, so many great matches. Is there one or two players in your mind that sticks out as a player that you knew when you got on the court it was going to be a battle every time, and that you had to really bring your A game in order to compete with them?
Well, there are so many top players, but there are so few top players. And what I mean here is that the top players are many in the sense that they're very skillful. Every top 50 or even top 100 or anyone on the PSA can play all 6 different shots. They can move so well on court. I mean, they pretty much devote their lives to squash. So There is no doubt they're going to be top players. But the toughest were always the ones that you knew if they're outplayed for a full hour, you know, they're never going to give up. You were talking Sharbagi here, we're talking Coll here, we're talking, I can count them on one hand, the people that I had to face in my career that I knew that they were never going to give up. I can't think of many others other than the two. Asel is a great player, Teg was a great player, Gawa, so many great players, and I was outplayed and I lost to them multiple times. But those two just always gave me that feeling, you know. honestly, it's just that I knew even if I was playing very good squash, they're not gonna give me the rest of the match easy. Like other players, not necessarily, you know, but I will have to keep on going again. And then the tides turn very quickly in a squash match, and that's what the top players believed in. Even if I'm outplayed, I'm gonna stay in there, something's gonna happen. A bad call might affect me, or might affect my opponent, or they're just gonna relax a little bit because they're playing so well, or whatever it may be, or all of a sudden your opponent is gonna start playing well. So those are the opponents that I always think of, and I dread the day I'm gonna step on court with them. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
We'd like to take one question.
Yes.
Avi?
Yes.
So my question is based off of the post-match interview here at the World Championships. You said he was a player that basically played like Remy. And I was wondering if there's any new players or young players on this group just going to tour that you'd say are, you know, keeping your eye on.
Yeah, no, plenty. I mean, I couldn't single out one player, but I love the players. Again, I will go back to the character thing. I mean, Veer, squash-wise, was unplayable that day, and somehow I scraped it through. But then when I think of the top players coming through, are the players that really never give up, and they have the character, they have what it takes, because we're gonna face a lot of obstacles throughout your career, and that's what differentiates one player from the other. And I'm thinking Zakaria here, I'm thinking Jonah, I'm thinking even a little bit of the older generation. Ali Abu Al-Ainain is one guy I admire big time. Attitude-wise, so he's not the flashiest. I was never the flashiest. Paul was never the flashiest, but flashy doesn't get you so far. I mean, it gets you some fans here and there, but what really gets you to the very, very top is your character. And I look at those players, and they really impress me, to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you know, we love you, and
I love you.
this is hard.
Yes.
It is. So we're hoping that YSK can figure out some relationship with you going forward. Is there anything you'd like to say before we?
No, I mean, I don't want to get emotional here, but I mean, I was so blessed to play one more time in front of you guys. I mean, when I made that decision, I never thought I was going to be back on court so soon. But honestly, there is no special place more than here, honestly. As I said, I've been coming for plenty of years. My very first World Championships was on this very court, actually. I don't even know the number of the court, but I remember playing there. I remember very vividly. Bobby thankfully reminded me of my cramps against Gautier in the quarterfinal this week. But honestly, no. I mean, this place is very special to me, and I'm very grateful to have come back. Hopefully, I can come back for many years to come. But thank you, guys, and hopefully, I see all of you one day killing the squash courts around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.